I started talking to Corrupt one day. He was like, yeah, Suge did that to me too. He said, that's why I came up with that line the night I served 2,000 MCs. It was because of that. You know what I'm saying? Suge was, yeah,
wow.
dog. But I think Suge did that to keep our swords sharp and to also make an impact on the moment. Like, you see I'm rolling with some real hyenas right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it
ain't
that's
just some
ill,
it ain't just we just ain't over here a big label making I'm rolling with some hyenas that'll fuck you over with this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy.
So it was good, man. It was boot camp. Death Row was boot camp. You know what I'm saying? I came out of there, dog. Every other label was a walk in the park. Motherfuckers be stressing what these labels be doing, dog. I be looking like this ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm rock with you niggas.
We back. Yo, this episode, now of course you don't see the team around and all that, you know what I mean? I'm out here on a solo mission. You know, shout out to Fit, shout out to Knowledge, shout out to Space. Space is actually out here, but he's high, so he couldn't make it. You know what I mean? You in LA, it's just the thing to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got a legend. When I say a legend, West Coast legend. And we gonna get into a conversation that I feel like they had about Long Beach a couple nights ago. And right. But we got King Crooked in the building.
What up, y'all? Good.
Yo.
Thanks for having me, bro.
You already,
you know
bro.
What I'm saying?
You already. I had to.
I appreciate it.
I had to. You know what I mean? There's only one person that I got to get now. That's Joel. I didn't get Joel yet.
And it's complete.
Voltron. And it's complete. Voltron. Word. Yo. I don't know. Where do we start? All right. The question I feel like everybody wants to know is who's gonna win tonight, the Nets or the Lakers? That's the question. You know what I mean? I know y'all see the fit. You know what I mean? Who's taking that thing tonight? You know what I mean? Like that's the question.
The camera's rolling. So I'm gonna have to say the Lakers. I mean, y'all fully loaded over there, dog, and I feel like anything can happen. I think that, you know, them two teams are destined. They on a collision course right now.
Yeah,
you know
it would be a goddamn shame if we ain't meet in the finals. We got to.
Yeah, that shit would be crazy. So, you know, I think where they playing?
Out here, I think.
Oh shit, man.
Out here, man.
Yeah, man. Let's go, LeBron.
No, I ain't even gonna front like I'm not a LeBron fan. Like, you know, you gotta salute the greats that been in the game for so long and still killing it. In a way that kind of relates to you, like,
appreciate it.
On the West Coast, you know, I know people like to ask, yo, top 5 excluding yourself. Top 5 including yourself. Where do you rank yourself amongst the best people, best rappers?
Are we talking about impact? We talking about like record sales? Because with these lists,
we talking about your personal favorites and where do you see yourself in between?
Shit. I mean, damn, dog. In no particular order as far as that go, when it come to the West Coast, I always look at Pac. Right. You know, I always look at Cube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? E40. You know, damn, Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Corrupt. I mean, I know that's Philly and, you know, and Cali, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, Corrupt.
But where do you rank yourself within that?
I mean, if you don't think you the best, sometimes I come from that era. If you don't think you the best, then you don't need to be on the court.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you rank yourself number 1.
If I'm being totally honest with myself, I think I'm the best rapper to come from the West Coast.
Over Tupac.
I think I'm the best rapper to ever come out of the West Coast. Just if you're just talking about rapping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're talking about putting records together that touch people's soul, I say Tupac is the best to ever do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about, making songs that move the party, I might say Snoop owns that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking about just strictly rapping, the art of rhyming, the art of putting words together. So put y'all all on the track.
You smoking everybody.
I mean, I do want to work with these niggas, you know what I'm saying?
We ain't trying to fuck that up. We are not trying to fuck that up. You know what I mean? Love to you, Snoop. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Tupac. But
I think I think everybody gonna bring what they're known to bring to the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Snoop is gonna bring what he's known to do, what he's the best at. I'm gonna do what I'm the best at. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. But nah, I mean, I just feel like, dog, if we just talking about strictly going bar for bar, I'm willing to, you know what I'm saying, I'm willing to try to prove that fact, you know what I'm saying, if everybody want to just jump on a joint together.
Yeah, before y'all wild out in the comments, you know what I mean, I need some of y'all to go do some research and really check out what Crooked brings to the table.
Word.
Now, I compared you earlier. I said you like Big Pun and Razzcast.
Right.
Mixed together, because Razzcast is, he's good for the punchlines, and Pun, like the way he structured it, it's just everything is gonna rhyme sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're able to do that and add a punchline in it.
Right.
What was the influence for you coming up?
Man,
because I can't say it was. I could kind of say it was Tupac, because sometimes he got real lyrical with his shit.
Right. It was definitely. I mean, man, Big Daddy Kane, Coogee, Rakim, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
DOC, you know what I'm saying? Like real people who get intricate with the words.
Right.
And that's only one level of the game. Some of the most simple rhymes are the best. Straight to the point.
Right.
Or sometimes people take a complex subject and make it simple.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's teaching a 6-year-old calculus, but knowing how to break something down and make it so simple that everybody can understand it. You know what I'm saying? So there's mastery in all of that, man. There's mastery in all of that. But, what I was drawn to was putting words together, painting a picture and trying to put,
the technique,
the technical side of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what attracted me. And I didn't want to be the most famous rapper. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the deadliest rapper on the West Coast.
But you didn't want to be the most famous?
Nah, I didn't want to. That wasn't the target I was aiming at. Because all I knew was I'm in the ghetto, I'm in the gutter, I'm in the hood. And an old guy told me, if you could do something better than anybody else, you can get out of this place. And I was like, all right, I'm going to rap better than anybody else.
And that was the motivation.
So a lot of people look back at my career and they say, well, you didn't have this and you didn't have this, you wasn't on the charts and you didn't do this and do that. But they don't understand that wasn't the motivation. The motivation was just to be the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think once I hit that target in my mind, like, yo, I could talk shit with the best of them. When I hit that target in my mind, I just kept hitting it. Right. And it was like time to switch targets, and I just didn't understand that it was time to switch targets and try something else.
No, right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you still gunning.
I still gunning, yeah.
Now, do you think that you know what? Before I even go there, this is a question that I think Royce would want me to ask you. Shout out to Bishop, by the way. He's been doing this thing on Clubhouse.
Yes, indeed.
He's had some of the most lit rooms ever. If you love hip-hop, you love lyricism, check out Bishop Brigante on Clubhouse. Righteous. A lot of the topics that they run is like you be in there for hours just debating shit. But I think Royce in particular, because I was in a room with him the other night, and I think he would want me to ask you, how influenced were you by Rapper's Delight?
Man, big time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like my moms used to play Rapper's Delight around the crib. And by the time I got to like kindergarten, I had learned the verse where the chicken tastes like wood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food was just, So I learned that and I used to say it around the house and rap it. My moms would have her company over, be like, yo, rap that verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to rap that verse.
Right.
And they had a talent show at my school, man. And I went up there and did that verse. You feel me? And, That was my first time really being on stage.
How
and rapping.
old were you?
I was like 6 years old. You know what I'm saying?
You 6 years old and you
Yeah.
got up on stage and rap.
And Rapper's Delight.
And
So.
you bodied it.
Yeah.
Did you mess it up? Did you
Nah,
mess it up?
I got busy, but I
Right.
was so used to saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got busy, man. And, you know, my mom was like, she was very supportive of me from that day on when it came to, you know, my music dreams and shit. But, yeah, Rapper's Delight, dog, like, that right there changed my life.
Wow. Take that, Royce. Take that.
Nickel, what's happening?
Wow, that's crazy. That having that influence and getting up on stage that young, like, do you think that was the moment that you said, this is it. This is what I'm gonna pursue. I'm gonna rap better than everybody. I'm gonna make it out.
It was a bunch of moments. That was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Another one, dog, I gotta be real. When I went to Snoop house for the first time, when he moved to a certain location where, you know, he had a big house, when he
Right.
got the big house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I went over there.
How old are
I
you?
think I was about 17, 18. And I went over there and he had like a basketball court in his backyard full, you know what I'm saying, official.
Yeah.
He had lowriders all in the garage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had whips parked in a circular driveway, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was looking like, damn, he made all this shit happen pushing his pen off rap.
Rap.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I was just sitting on his couch and they was playing video games and, you know, I was in my own world just impressed, inspired, and motivated. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this dude did that. And he from the same section of the city I'm from. You know what I'm saying?
Beach.
And it was like, yo, bro, I'm doing this forever. I'm not going to stop, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because this is too major.
Did you get to rap for him that day?
That day, I think we did make a joint that day, dog. Somebody was just reminding me of that, too, the other day at the lab. They was like, what happened to that joint you made with Snoop when you was young? We did a few joints. He had a studio inside his house, too, a little studio. He had a big studio off premises and then one inside the house.
Wow.
And, yeah, we did a little joint that day. You know what I'm saying? It's
So
a couple
17
joints.
years old, you was
17,
rapping with
18.
Snoop.
Yeah, about 18, yeah. Yeah, I think that was the first time I did something with him. I was there a long time, man. You know what I mean? I was blessed.
Yeah.
You know, because
Definitely.
it's a lot of youngsters that don't get to go around icons and shit like that. But I
Facts.
ain't even know, and I told him this too. I ain't even know how blessed I was to be in the presence
At that time.
At that time, you know what I mean, and be able to learn and sit back and watch and peep game. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask you. In the back of your mind, was you like, yo, I'm about to kill Snoop on the track? Keep it real. Keep it real.
Nah, because you know what? We was songwriting, like, I just wanted to prove that I belong there.
Right.
Because it was always a house full of rappers or a studio full of rappers. Anytime when Snoop was doing his thing, when I was involved and I was around, he
Right.
always had a lot of, you know, up-and-coming artists around that was trying to get on.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
anybody we familiar with?
It was a lot of people. Like, we had the homies, the Low Life Gang, you know what I'm saying? Shouts to them. Rest in peace, Badass, you know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
had, you know, my homie Big C Style had this compilation called the 19th Street compilation and shit.
Right.
And, you know, Trey D was on there. LT Hutton was producing.
Dope.
You know what I mean? Badass, once again, was on there. The Low Lives, Technique, the Dynamics.
Wow.
My brother Dice was on there. It was just a lot
He
of
was in
Long
the
Beach.
mix.
J Money, rest in peace. McGruff was on there. Rest in peace. Coke Loke was on there. Lil C Style, Free Lil C Style, he was on there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot of people on there, and that's just how it was. You know what I mean? Like, it was yo, you got to come with your best shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Snoop would hit that talk back button and be like, hey, man, that ain't it.
That ain't it.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you got to come out of there. And
Right.
if you come out of there too many times, you ain't going back.
Right.
You feel me? And you might be back on the east side of Long
How
Beach.
many times he hit that button on you?
Never.
Never.
Not one time.
Not one time.
Not once. I was hungry. Math, I was hungry.
No, I'm not. I get it. You know
I was
what I mean?
hungry. No cap. I
Look.
was starving.
But you had a lot more respect than I did. I remember Bimmy Anthony, he was interested in giving me a deal when I was like 18, and he was working on Cool J's project at the time, the GOAT project. And you know, I was young. I was real cocky. You know what I mean? Like, I was real cocky, so I was like, "Yo, let me get a 16 on that. I ain't gonna kill him too bad." Yo, when I say these motherfuckers,
"I ain't gonna kill
I
him
ain't gonna
too
kill him
bad?"
too bad. When I say I got the lecture, I got the lecture that day. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bimmy Anthony though. Shout out to Bimmy.
Yeah, they was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Hold up, you're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, after that, you know, him and Cannabis got into their thing.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, I guess he got tired of the young boys, you know, talking that shit.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
can see it.
shout out to L. Shout out to L. Biggest misconception, Crooked Eye.
Is that I'm a cypher rapper.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I came in the game telling stories.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I came in the game telling stories about my life. And I just think that some of the cypher work overshadowed it for a minute. It's kind of like with the battle rap when they, you know, battle rappers, when they try to make songs, you can't make songs. You know, that bullshit, that's a myth too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, I mean.
appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah. In one form or another, we all battled. You know, it might not have been on the URL stage or King of the Dot, but we all had to get down at that basketball court, or you know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
I mean, it's innate. You hear it in people's raps. Like, there's always this this person or this I'm better than. You know what I mean? Rap was always about like showing, you know, I'm the greatest.
I'm the greatest.
You know, it's flexing. It's a lot of flexing in people's verses, even if they're not going at anybody in particular. There was always that subject. It was like, I'm better than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that invisible MC is present.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you gotta talk shit. You gotta tear him down verbally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, I mean, M started off battling.
Right.
You know, Royce caught a few battles.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You talking about Grammy Award winning artist that's top of the world. You know, so yeah.
Yo, Conway.
You know
what I mean? He's got a battle online. But what people don't know, Source Walker. I ran into Source in Miami, and he showed me a battle from when he was young. Like,
see what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So that, I think, to answer your question, that's one of them. You know what I'm saying? Is that you know, it's all about. I'm trying to bar everything out.
Right.
You know, even if the song don't call for it, I consider myself as a very skillful songwriter. I know when to ease off the gas pedal and to smash on that motherfucker. I know I let the beat talk to me. I let the music talk to me and tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? So all that, you know.
What do you think that came from?
That came from the BET Cyphers and probably the Hip Hop Weekly series, my first Hip Hop Weekly series I did, where I was just barring out on shit, you know. And then that's a misconception. So I want people, I invite people to go into the catalog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's okay. So how do you get around these misconceptions? Because battle rappers, we've been trying to figure it out for years. Is this next project that you dropping?
Yes, sir.
Glass House?
Not
No,
Glass House.
not Glass House.
Hey, yo, I wish all the Slaughterhouse fans, they wish Glass House would come
back out,
man.
right?
But yeah,
but we talking about Well, have you named the project yet?
No names yet.
No names.
No names, man. It's in my mind. It's called the most important album of my life. That's what it is, right? That's how it lives in my mind. It won't be the title, but that's how it lives in my mind.
Right. And you're trying to top all your past works.
All of them. I'm trying to top all of them by far.
You think that misconception is going to get put to bed with this project?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will. You know what I'm saying? I think it will. My real supporters, they know that ain't facts. They know that. You know what I'm saying? But you got so many onlookers who want to be tastemakers in the game, and they looking from the outside, looking in, and they on the sidelines, and they saying, "Oh, Crook got bars. He'll go 50 bars and all that,
Right.
And it's like, dog, we doing so much more than that. Even Slaughterhouse, they counted us out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
Motherfuckers was telling us we should make an album battling each other when we did our first fucking
I mean,
album.
but I'm not mad at the concept.
But they thought that that's what we wanted to do. They was like, yo, that's all they saw us being able to do. Let me put it that way. They didn't see us as songwriters until we dropped the first shit, and then it was like, oh shit.
Do you think people fight against that stigma too much? Like, because in reality, being honest, Crooked.
Yeah.
I would love to hear you just rip somebody up. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
I love that. Now, the song part, of course, that's going to draw me in. You tearing shit up, and I'm gonna check out the music, and I'm gonna be like, oh, he's multi-layered. There's more to it than this.
Right.
But the general attraction is, yo, you'll smoke a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Would that be such a bad idea?
Nah, I don't run. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Shit,
Right.
I love it. You know, that is a part that I fell in love with.
Right.
You know, when Rakim said he murdering MCs, I was like, okay, that's what we doing. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
exactly.
I love it. It's just like you said. I'm just trying to make some balance. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to bring balance to it. But you know, any album that I'm creating is gonna have some element of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's in me. It's in my DNA.
All right, this could segue easily into a battle rap conversation, but since we were on the topic of misconceptions, I saw this Suge Knight documentary, and you know, growing up on the East Coast in Brooklyn, especially being from Brooklyn, there was a certain image that he had from a distance.
Right.
You know what I mean? You were signed to Death Row.
Absolutely.
So there's got to be a lot of information within that. Because me from on the outside, when I started kind of getting, you know, popping with the battles and all that, I started dropping music videos too. There was a video I dropped called "Only God Could Judge Me," and Suge reached out to my manager at the time.
Oh shit.
And I heard about it. Half of me was excited.
Yeah.
The other half was like, nah, that's Suge. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know the words going on around that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know how to feel about it. But after watching this documentary, there were a lot of things that I saw within it that I understood. And I was like, okay, they had me fooled on this one.
Like what? What
Like,
you get on?
exactly what Suge Knight stood for. His relationship with Pac. There was a lot of things on the outside.
Right.
Like you hear these rumors, oh, Suge got Tupac killed.
Yeah, that type
you know what
of
I mean?
shit, yeah.
Suge, and you don't think about it because there's so many people saying it.
Right.
But like he said something in the documentary. He was like, "What type of motherfucker get his man killed and then say shoot me in the head to make it look black?" You know what he said? And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Make it look real.
Right, exactly. So, you being that you were signed to Death Row, what are the misconceptions of Suge Knight that you knew when you heard all the shit that was going around that you knew wasn't what it was?
I saw a good side of Suge, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember a nursery burnt down in the hood.
Right.
And he, right away, went and got it fixed and, you know, redone and all that kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? I remember he used to, on Father's Day, he used to charter a bus and take all the kids who had fathers that were incarcerated and they couldn't see their kids, you know what I'm saying? So he would bus all the kids up to go see their fathers on Father's Day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I remember, you know, everybody know he had the Mother's Day dinners and, you know what I'm saying? When we, on Christmas, we used to go get a U-Haul and buy like $50,000 worth of toys and go to the sick ward in the children's hospital, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And get out and give all the kids toys, you know what I'm saying? Like good shit.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
But this is shit that you never hear.
yeah, he had a charitable heart.
Right.
That people don't talk about, you know what I mean? And I asked him one time, I said, why you don't ever talk about this kind of shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Being the new guy on the label, I wanted to talk about it. And he was like, man, you know, let him talk. He's like, I know what I do. I ain't
Right.
tripping.
Right.
So it's like, I feel you, you know what I'm saying? You don't really want to publicize your charitable acts all the time. I
Right.
get that, you know what I'm saying?
But do you feel like that was a flaw, being that everything else,
was out there.
anything else anybody could conjure up in their mind was being launched out there?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you know, he also benefited off of his image.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know. He probably had to weigh it out on himself. But I think if some of those things were out there, it'd be a different story. We'd be talking about some different shit right now. You know what I'm saying? They might have had.
So he personally told you, like, I don't want this stuff spoken about like that?
No, he didn't tell me not to speak about it because I did. I spoke on it on a song called Still the Row for Eddie Griffin's soundtrack. It was called Dysfunctional Family. You know what I'm saying? I helped produce that soundtrack, and I spoke on it on the first single. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't tripping on that information being out there, but he wasn't trying to make an effort to show people his good side. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, let them think what they want to think. But my idea was if they saw that type of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe they would.
Maybe they'll, you know what I mean? Try to understand who you are as a whole, not just one side that they perceive, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
What when you got signed to Death Row, was this on like the tail end of Snoop leaving, or was it before?
It was the tail end, so it was the end really. Pac passed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Snoop left. Suge was locked up. He was doing time in Mule Creek, California. And it was 99. You know what I'm saying? And I went up there to go see him in the penitentiary and shit. And I would go visit him. And that's how we kind of got our first relationship started with each other business-wise, was, me visiting him up there, you know what I mean? And busting down what I wanted to do with my career and what he could do for me.
Right.
And,
Right.
And he was in there for like 2 years while I was on the label, you know what I mean? And he got out like 2 years after I signed. So I had already had hella music made. I had albums, mixtapes. I was doing all kind of shit. And then he came out and took the shit to another level, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, everybody was gone. It was on my shoulders. Corrupt came back for a minute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then Corrupt bounced out.
Well, what was that over?
You know what? I'm not really sure. I know that he came over there for a minute when Suge got out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that no matter what goes on in the media, I think that deep down a lot of people who left that label, even if they had some sort of negative vibes, they know Suge tried to fucking help them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Deep down, this dude tried to help me. You know what I mean?
Because black ownership was what he was pushing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And niggas was cashing those checks at the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They wasn't giving the checks back. They was putting the money in the pocket, feeding the family, paying bills, doing all that shit.
Right.
And, it all came from the row. So I think that's one thing that drove Corrupt to come back. But, and plus he probably just wanted to fuck around with his homie for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He fresh out, you know what I mean? Been
Right.
away for 6 years.
Right.
Let's make some music. Let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he came over there and Suge gave him an executive role. And, he made some music and then he departed. And,
I think I remember seeing that in
Yeah.
The Source.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was over there for a minute. Then we did the Double XL magazine cover. It was me, Corrupt, Eastwood, Left Eye, rest in peace, because she came over to the label.
Right.
As Nina, releasing rap songs under the name Nina.
Nina.
And it was a wild time, man. But
Whatever happened to those records?
some of them on YouTube and very secret places where 2 views, 3 views, nobody
Views,
don't even know.
nobody knows it's
They
up.
don't even know. Yeah, I got like 3 records on YouTube with her. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
From those days.
You
know
ever
what I'm
thought
saying?
of just taking those records and doing them over?
Yeah, I have, because Lisa was special.
Yeah.
She brought Dr. Sabi to the office. You know what I mean? Introduced us all to him. She was bringing a whole nother energy. I always say that. She brings a different energy
Right.
to the label. She was balancing it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of dark times over there. So she was like the light.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she'll come through and, Dr. Sabi, what's up with y'all health? Y'all got to get
Yeah.
y'all shit right. You know
What
what I
y'all
mean?
eating? What
y'all, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did she have you switch up? Was you
Oh,
doing
yeah.
Impossible Burgers for a little
Hey,
bit?
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, for real. Because I
With the
mean,
lettuce wrap.
yeah, because Sabi said, hey, he did a front flip. He was old as shit. He just did a front flip right in the office. Doo-doo. The niggas was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah. He's like, because I take care of myself. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And we was like, all right, OG shit. What's the program? And he
Yeah.
was like, yo, this, telling us about, balancing your acid in your body and all this
Yeah,
type of shit.
alkaline,
Your
yeah.
alkaline, man. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Let's get it.
Right.
But I always been open to that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? My mom had Black Panthers around the crib when I was a kid and
Yeah.
shit like that. So that I've always been open to alternative information
Right.
that ain't mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, at least willing to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
You think because there's a lot of rumors and stuff. Let's address a couple rumors. You think Suge had anything to do with Biggie or Tupac's death?
Hell no. I mean, listen, man. Like you said, you riding in the car with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers start shooting. You told them, yo, shoot them while I'm in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Side, right?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's what I want you to do. And I think that's easy to believe for people who have never been in a car that has been shot at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you ever been in a car that been shot at, you know good and fucking well that you trying to find every piece of the floor you can, every piece of the floor.
Exactly.
You're trying to get low as you can possibly fucking get. You ain't got no time. You don't know them bullets is ricocheting around that motherfucker.
They taking different angles once they hit that door. Like, you don't know how that's going to go. You can't be no marksman and thoroughly plan out where a bullet is going to go when it goes through a car, door.
So to me, that has always been ridiculous.
Right.
But I understand why certain people probably fell for it because they had a strong hatred for him and they never been in a car that got blasted up. So
Right.
I already knew that. But when it comes to the Biggie thing, you know, what year was that? That was 90...
97. 96, 97.
96, 97, right?
Yeah.
So, I wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? 96, 97. I was still on the east side with Big C Style. We was doing 19th Street Records. I would come around every now and then, hit some studio sessions, but I wasn't around, you know what I'm saying? But I don't believe it from because Suge thought Biggie was dope too.
Right.
That's what people don't know.
Yeah, the funny thing, what I learned in the documentary is that Suge and Puff used to hang out.
Yeah.
Like they, Suge used to, Puff would come to L.A., he'd be riding around with Suge.
Right.
Suge would be playing new Tupac records. Suge would go to New York, he's riding around with Puff, he's playing new Biggie records.
Now imagine if that stayed that way.
Yeah.
Where would we
What would
be
that
right?
be like?
That's crazy.
What do you think? Where do you think it went wrong?
Man, I don't know. Can moguls get along for a long time, man?
I think, I don't know. I don't know. You've been around enough of them that you worry, because right now we got the other situation going. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah,
I think Jay and Puff get along.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think Russell said it best, man. It was a time where being that powerful in hip hop, Suge and Puff, that was still new.
Right.
You know what I mean? For black executives in hip hop to be on, hundreds and hundreds of millions of
And
dollars.
everybody was young.
Everybody was young, and that was a relatively new thing. And I think Russell said it best when he said, I was the OG, but I didn't know I was the OG. I didn't play the OG role.
Right.
I didn't say, hey, Suge, hey, Puff. Man, let's fly out together, man. Let's sit down and let's chop this up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he, at the time, he might have been the only dude that could have done that in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And he said he regretted it. And I felt him on that, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot was lost. Too much was lost.
Yeah.
When I think about how young Biggie was, dog, I say, man,
And Pac.
he has so much more to give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it should have taught us so much. And I don't know if it did.
I think the lesson that I feel like came out of that was that, and I hate to say it, but dead rappers get better promotion.
Oh yeah, now we learned that for real.
So I'm that I've had conversations with conspiracy theorists and all that shit.
Right.
And I recently had an hour-long conversation with somebody I was trying to talk into doing the Legends Only. Mm-hmm. And this person was so paranoid because they got like 3,000 records, but they not really in the limelight anymore. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the motherfucker somewhere living in a bubble because he feel like he's worth more dead than alive.
Wow. I can see that. I could see that when shit start getting hot on death row, and niggas was, you know what I'm saying, coming for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had insurance, and a lot of you young rappers out there, y'all need to understand this. They got something called key man insurance.
Key man.
Because you're the key man at this operation. So if you go down, they gonna get millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, there was a time.
Is that standard?
I believe that's standard now, but they don't talk about it to the artists. Now, a good lawyer, he know what's happening. He gonna go in there and situate you.
Right.
But I think the artist should know it going in. So when they do get an attorney or they do negotiate deals, make sure that you understand everything that's in that paper, because if you the key man and if they got a couple $1 million life insurance policy on you and 1,000 records unreleased, yeah, it could happen.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It could happen.
What's that policy like? Like what's the turnaround on it?
I don't know, man. All I know is I found out about it and I was like, yo, y'all gotta get this shit off me.
You feel like it's a bag on your head all of a sudden. Like, motherfuckers in the office like, yo, we'll save the company if something
You know what I'm
happens.
saying? Because I'm like, man, what is this? But
Wow.
it just opened my mind, though, because I was in a similar situation. I had a lot of music, you know what I'm saying, over there. And, you know, it was a lot of enemies to the label.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't playing like rap music shit. They was playing motherfucking street shit, real street shit. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that same feeling. Whoever your man is, I felt that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they could just take me out. They got 4 or 5 albums. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying?
This shit go platinum the next day.
Next day. Yeah, everybody singing songs and lighting candles.
You think it's possible that could be something like the actual plan that some people have, some label owners or some executives behind closed doors? You know how they like to talk about, you know, this shit ran by people who do this and do that. Yeah. You think that's actually something that could be possible?
Man, they've been killing niggas since the 60s on music. You know what I'm saying? Niggas mysteriously coming up dead, or writers and all that type of shit. Yeah. Yeah, hey, man.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy to think about.
I mean, we look at rap music like we doing something new.
Right.
We not.
Nah, we not. We not. Nah, it's just been, you know, cleaned up, repackaged, you know what I mean? It's the same game that they always been playing. Yeah. So what's the way to get around that, being independent?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, listen, man. Like, you know, I'm not here to point no fingers. I don't know what nobody doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My mom's was in the business, you know, when before she had me, and you know, she was a songwriter. Her and my auntie, rest in peace, her twin sister. Right. They used to sing with the Gap Band, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because she come from Oklahoma, and her manager got killed on some music shit. So she always used to be worried about me in the music industry, you know what I'm saying? Because she knew how real it was, you know what I'm saying? So it's been going on forever. You know, that shit been going on forever, but, you know, we know the job was dangerous when we took it, you know what I'm saying? Right. And, you know, there's a lot of dangerous jobs. Firemen, police officers, you know what I'm saying?
But rapper is like at the top of the list.
Well, rap is just, we making it dangerous on ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason niggas can't just catch fades, man. Stop fucking shooting everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, catch the fade, man.
Catch the fade.
You know,
catch the fade.
Yeah, if you lose, it's
Royce Benzino. Catch the fade. Catch the fade, man. I was talking with him about that the other night. He was like, man, that man is 54 years old, man. And I'm like, he won't fight, man. You know, he won't like, and hug it out. That's what he said. If you could fight,
but why though? My whole thing is why.
Why?
Yeah, why Benzino want to fight Royce? Why?
My theory.
Yeah,
I think that, you know, Zeno kind of got that same misconception placed on him because of, you know, people picking sides.
Right.
But if you took away the Eminem beef,
yeah,
started a a magazine that we revered. You know what I mean? That unsigned hype and that hip hop quotable was the first things when you picked up Source magazine. You went back there, but it was black owned and it was about us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Independent label. He was pushing kind of that same moniker until that shit went down. So I feel like he probably feels like people gave everybody else a pass except him. He's still in this box because of that situation.
Which I could understand, but my thing is, I feel like it's all about how you react to the situation.
Right.
And how you respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could have been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago buried.
Right.
You know, that little problem could have been solved, talked about, talked out, and done years ago.
Right.
I feel like keeping up that same energy is what's keeping it alive. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I can't tell a grown man what to do, but
when you're on the losing side
yeah,
of the battle, I feel like people tend to kind of like keep that in front of your face.
right,
You feel me? Like,
yeah,
I know you remember, you know, the situation with me and Dose.
right,
Everybody remember, yo, get out my face, son.
right.
Yeah, it got to a point where sometimes I had to check on the homie, even though we ain't had no issues.
Yeah,
Because I know people kept constantly throwing that in his face.
right.
And I'm like, y'all gonna get this motherfucker charged up.
Yeah.
And he gonna come looking for me.
yeah.
Even though we ain't got no problems no more.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like that's what happens with
Yeah.
Zeno. You know what I mean? He goes through that. Like,
And
he
I can
probably
see
get
that.
comments every day.
Yeah, the
you know?
comments is wild. People,
Right.
you know, throwing things in his face. You know what I mean? Anytime I'm in a negative environment, I try to think outside of it. I try to think bigger. I try to think, you know what I'm saying? That's when it's really time to play chess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, you know, that's an issue that could possibly be solved. I mean, we supposed to be on code right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is trying to be on code with each other. Everybody is trying to empower each other. Everybody is trying to, you know, COVID and all this other shit kind of made us sit down and think. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, right when we on code, I don't feel like we need disruptions and distractions. I feel like unity is the key. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how you get to that place, but you know, I feel like that's the energy. Even if you on the losing side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
You just gotta clean it up. Like,
let's clean this up.
Right.
This shit ain't come on, man. Let's clean this shit up right here. Going back and forth in the public eye. Man, we better than that right now.
you had to tell that to Royce, man.
Well, you know, if
No, I'm
if
joking,
a
I'm
nigga,
joking.
yeah, because
Yeah.
if a nigga come at Royce gonna come. That's just
Right.
that's that simple.
That's the Detroit shit.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, listen, man, I don't know what could be done about that particular situation, but it's just like, dog, we supposed to be on code right now.
Right,
That's
right.
all I'm saying.
So when you you know, keeping that type of subject matter going, when you was on Death Row, was there friction between you and Snoop?
Yeah. Yeah, it was friction, you know what I'm saying? But
Did y'all ever make records about each other? Was it?
yeah, he you know, and it's crazy now because, you know, I feel like me and him are in a better place than we probably ever been since I known him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And M and Snoop had a little snag, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of M's fans follow me. And they talk to me on Twitter every day.
Right.
And they went digging for the old records that I had and Snoop had about me, you know what I'm saying, and I had about him.
Oh, they rehashed
They
it.
try to rehash it, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
because they just wanted some sort of feud going on,
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Because, yo, you know, but it's crazy because I told Suge, you know, I said, Suge, man, I'm not going to diss Snoop. I told him this, you know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not going to diss Snoop. You know what I mean? Snoop is from Long Beach, California, and I'm from the east side.
Right.
Snoop from the east side, man. I said, I got respect for Snoop. I'm not going to diss Snoop, dog. You know, I'm just not. And Suge, he always respected me. I don't know why Suge liked me so much, dog, but he just really did.
Right.
I was young, you know, he took a real liking to me, and he's like, all right. He said, but you know what? They gonna dish you first. And then you're gonna have to do something. And he just started laughing and walked off. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what happened?
And that's what happened. You know, they had a
Snoop
mixtape.
took the first shot.
Yeah, they had a mixtape called Welcome to the Church House. And I don't know which volume it was, but it took a few shots.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to send them back. You know what I'm saying?
It's time to play.
You know what I'm saying?
It's time to play.
Yeah, so it was.
Were you disappointed? I mean, being like, you know, we started this interview off with you being 17 in the booth and Snoop never having to hit that button. So I know the love was there. The respect was there lyrically. Did you feel like he kind of knew what kind of monster you was and he was like, oh, nah, I ain't going to let him take the first shot. I'm going to let it go.
Nah, he might have been on some bomb first. You know?
Word. Now, Pop done showed me this, dog. I'm a bomb first.
I'm a bomb first on this little nigga. You know, I'm finna establish something fast.
Right.
Chin check him, you know.
Right.
And I was disappointed, dog, because I fuck with him.
Right.
I fuck with Snoop. I fuck with the Dog Pound. I fuck nigga. Everybody can't be in the city. Everybody in the city cannot be signed to Snoop Dogg.
Right.
Or part of, you know, Snoop Dogg's label and movement.
Right.
There has to be other people to establish their own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, yo, dog, some niggas work at Burger King, some work at McDonald's, bro. I'm just over here at Death Row Records.
Yeah.
I know what it is with you and Suge. I mean, I'm taking heat too. I walk into the office and it's a parking lot full of niggas who hate Long Beach niggas waiting in that motherfucker. And I'm the only nigga over there from the city now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So the pressure's on you regardless.
Yeah, the pressure is on me too. So I'm hitting the pressure from them, from the inside and the outside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm like, yo, I ain't really wanted to go there because it was like, yo, I fuck with them. Been knowing them. Everybody that, you know, make the beats to the motherfuckers cleaning up his office, I know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I didn't really want to go there. But it just, you know, they shot at me, so I shot back. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. But I'm glad we got past that because, you know, I'd rather show our city. We got a lot of young talent in the city. I'd rather them see us together and unified. You know what I'm saying? We need to be one. They got a movement. You know what I'm saying?
But is that the sign? Did you guys respect each other more after going through that?
I think so, though, man. I think so because.
And this is why battle rap is important.
There you go.
This is why motherfuckers need to just battle. You heard? This is like this is how you just gotta get it off your chest. You feel me?
Yeah. Right. I think we did, dog. Cause I flew all the way to Atlanta when they gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award at BET.
Right.
I flew all the way out there, man, just to shake his hand and tell him congratulations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was big.
And that was big. You know what I mean? And it did. I think so, man. So you know.
So it's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta all right, cool. Now we good.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Hell yeah.
But damn, that's a lot of heat. Like you, bro, you've been under pressure for a long time.
Yeah, bro.
Handling it, like dealing with it.
Yeah, dealing with that shit.
King Crooked. Now, now being from like the Snoop situation to when you eventually left Death Row, and I'm bringing this up because I saw a picture on your Instagram, and I know it had like a lot of people like, what's really going on? You and Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah.
In the studio.
Yes, sir.
What's really going on? You know what I mean? I gotta ask. What's really going on?
Hey man, you know, I mean, firstly, man, it was good to see Doc in his element.
Right.
You know, he had the issue, the medical
his
issue.
spirits
you know what I'm
is
saying?
up,
His
yeah.
spirits is up.
Right.
You know, he in there, music banging, he laughing, smiling, jumping on the mic. Yo, I'm finna say something. Hold up.
Yeah.
Sit back down. I just thought of something else. You know, to see him in his element, man, it was just a blessing. I'm like, damn, that's cool. Doc good right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was just dope. But you know, I'm pulling up on let's work.
What's up? What's up?
You know what I'm saying?
It's that time.
It's that time. So
So
you know, it's
are we gonna hear a lot of that on your next?
well, what I can say is this, man. I'm trying to, not even trying, I'm surrounding myself with brilliant music people, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm surrounding myself with brilliant producers, brilliant songwriters, brilliant musicians. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing.
Right.
You know, and for him to open up his door and say, yeah, come on in, you know what I mean? It mean a whole lot to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's gonna be some major surprises on this album. You know what I'm saying? From the East too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be some major surprises on this album.
Post a picture.
Oh yeah, everybody just follow the narrative.
I'll be waiting for it. Cause a lyricist on Dr. Dre beats has been like, and that's no disrespect to, you know, I feel like, you know, Snoop, they created a vibe.
Right.
But hearing someone like M over those hard drums and the piano and the, you know what I mean? It's a different type of, like, you take it in differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to hear you.
Can't wait.
How many joints you got over there, man? How many what's the Dr. Dre beat like? Like, is it, what is it like when you work on something and then it's time to talk business?
Hey man.
You like, so
say hey.
you gonna give me a discount on this? Motherfucker?
I'm pretty sure. Yo, listen, I can't afford no Dre beats.
Just out the gate.
You know what I'm saying?
So you gotta know it's love.
You know what I'm
if
saying?
you see it, you know it's love. You know it's love.
You know, that man shit. The headphones was hitting the nigga. No, I'm not kidding. But yeah, like, and that's like M too. Like, you know, M produced some joints for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, he don't put you can't put a price tag on that.
Yeah.
You know, because nobody can afford that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we all right over here, but nigga, we ain't throwing 250 at a fucking beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But are you ever expected to though?
Nah, because M and Dre and these kind of guys, man, they work with people that they respect. And you know, if you got their respect, you can get some work done. And you know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I'm saying?
And if you don't, you got to come out with that 250.
Oh yeah, 250, 5-4. You know, you
know it's about to go.
You don't know. Yeah, your whole budget get tore in half. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, all right, so this beat is gonna cost you nine albums.
Yeah, nigga, that hi-hat was like 500. That snare was like 250.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing, Math, dog. Like, I came a long way. We just talked about me being on Death Row Records. Right. You know, and to slide
over there
and to be able to.
What was that vibe?
That vibe was being myself. And I always tell artists to do this. It's a life jewel, really, but artists in particular, be yourself.
Right.
Because I was on the radio, live on the radio with Ja Rule, Irv, Suge, and Ja played that joint that he had dissing M, where he say some real crazy stuff about M's daughter and all that. You know, he premiered it on the radio.
Right.
And you know, it was lit. You know what I'm saying? They was at it. And the host was like, yeah, so Crooked, you up next. You about to send some shots to Dre and M? You got something for him? And I was like, nah. That's not my beef. I said, you know, I just got over here, you know. Right. I'm trying to make great music. I'm trying to bring that back to the W. You know what I'm saying? I said, that's my focus. I was like, yo, Dre. I said, Suge could tell you, Dre is the greatest producer ever. I always tell him that.
He'll still say that.
You know what I'm saying? I said, I always tell Suge that. You know what I'm saying? That's the greatest producer. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, him got bars and all that. I said, you know, I don't really know. The gist of what I was saying was, I don't believe that Suge brought me to Death Row to be a wind-up doll.
To go after people.
Go after people and to be a paper soldier. You know what I'm saying? Right. I believe that it was something deeper than that. And I don't have no problem with these guys. I don't even know what this whole shit is about. I just got here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, what's going on? I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to do, just jump in. And little did I know, I was at Fat Beats. And I was about to do this mixtape called Young Boss Volume 1. And half of the beats was going to be Chronic 2001 beats. And the other half was going to be DJ Premier beats. So I went to Fat Beats, got the Chronic 2001 instrumental vinyl. and my phone rang. It was Dre. I was off death row at the time, and he was like, yo, I heard you that night when you was on the radio. Me and M was listening, or something to that effect. And he was like, yo, you never took a shot. Every time, he said, every time they try to get you to shoot at me, you never did.
Right.
And he said, I respect the fuck out of that. So, you know, you want to get down, holla at me, boom, 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 bam. And I truly believe that
That was it.
that night
Yeah.
is one of the reasons why I was able to have a death row past and still be able to go over there to Shady, you know what I'm saying, and have a future, and it's all good, you know.
Right.
Because it would have been easy for me to say, hell yeah, fuck them niggas, let's go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was easy.
Showing the whole crew.
You know
Everybody looking like, yeah, you with it, right? You with it,
go.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what was on my heart. For what? You know what I mean? And
I want to take this time out to say, yo, M, when I was young, Zeno was trying to get me to diss you.
What you
and
do?
I backed up out of it. I was like, yo, nah, real talk. Nah, this is real
That's
talk.
real?
This is real talk.
oh shit.
He hit me up. He was like, yo, you a lyrical monster. Come get at these guys and da. I thought this was my ticket to get away from the shiny suits. Like, I could beat the game if I go right here. So, you know, people be like, yo, don't do it. I'll pick up the pen. I start moving it. They like, yeah, that shit fire. That shit fire.
Right.
I got to the studio, and, you know, Zeno had his response. He had somebody else's response. I'm like, yo, where you going with this? And he was like, yo, we going to put out a whole mixtape with the source. Dissing them. I'm going to put your joint right before my joint. And I sat there and I was like, I respect the fuck out of anybody that could rap, like Eminem. And this ain't no real shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of this shit.
Yeah.
And he made a joke. He was like, yeah, 50 is from New York. You probably should. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here, nigga. But nah, you know what I mean? So I stepped out of that. I was like, nah, this ain't my thing. This ain't the way that I'm going to do it.
Word. And you know that, and that means a lot, man. That shows a lot about, you know, your character, because, you know, a lot of people would have did that just to get in the source.
Oh, a lot of people did. He had niggas dissing them in Spanish.
Yeah.
He had niggas on the tape spitting Spanish dissing Eminem, son.
Yo, Marshall, you better.
What the
You
fuck?
got some niggas coming at you, man.
I think the name was Uno Dos or something like that. I'm like, yo, this guy is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, like, man.
But what is it like being over there? Like, when you talk this genealogy, like, they could make a documentary about Death Row and, you know, end it with Shady.
Right.
But walking your path.
Walking my path. Because I did a lot of independent shit in between that era. So,
Right.
you know, I was in Texas in the South getting it with them guys. And but being over there was just like, I remember we was at the video for Forever, Hype Williams.
Right.
And one of the Shady execs asked me, like, yo, what does it feel like, you know, being on Shady Records and you was on Death Row? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it feel great. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no other way to describe it.
Ain't no other way to describe it, you know what I mean? But it does trip me out. It trips me out because it's also, you know, a credit to longevity and your skill and your craft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you stay true to your craft, you can go anywhere. You can even go, you know, from Death Row to Shady. You know what I'm saying? If you stay true to your craft and, you know what I'm saying, your skill set, it'll take you where you need to be. And I just told this story, and some people on Twitter didn't believe me because they were like, oh, but Suge said this with Nick Cannon and all this type of shit. And I said, listen, I don't got no reason to lie. I was standing in the kitchen of the studio, Eminem studio, and Suge called me. And I felt like, damn, I'm standing in Eminem.
Do I answer the call? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
it's
like,
one of the moments.
like, yo, you know,
Yeah.
and it ain't like I was just getting calls from Suge every day. It's just he reached out for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And I said, yo, I'm over here with M right now, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I'm glad you with the white boy, man. Because that's what he called him. He was like, I'm glad you with the white boy because he's a lyricist. And he gonna understand you more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he was like, don't let nobody tell you that I'm trying to get in your way for some shit like that. He's like, man, I love that shit. He was like, because he could spit and you could spit. And ain't nobody on the West gonna really understand you right now. That's what Suge said, dog.
Yo, you know what that conversation, that little audio clip would have cleared up so much shit that was thrown on Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Just knowing that he understood music so much that he could have an issue with somebody,
Yeah.
but still love what they do.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because he definitely he understood that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came to the music, he had that ear, and that's why a lot of people, you know, they wish they could have been on death row. All the bullshit that went on death row.
They wish they
it's
was
still some motherfuckers that wish they could have been on death
hitting.
row. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And plus because Suge giving you the nod is like saying, you know, your talent level is official. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know,
Just look at who done passed through his.
looking who done passed through his situation. So yeah, dog, like he knew his shit. You know what I'm saying? He knew his shit.
Well, when he said they gonna understand you,
Yeah.
do you think that being super lyrical sometimes is like a gift and a curse?
Yeah. Absolutely, because even when I was young doing this shit, I always was rapid fire, or even if I wasn't rapid fire, I was trying to figure out how to say things differently than the average motherfucker said. So I might have been rapping about the same shit Eazy-E was rapping about, but I was using syllables and punchlines
And shit, yeah.
And, you know, some of my big homies, I don't know what you saying, cuz, but you sound hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it was very hard because a lot of people didn't know what to do with me because, you know, the music was more laid back and West Coast music in the mainstream was laid back. And it was, you know, storytelling real simple to the point, more so. Right. And all the lyrics.
That's kind of what being on the East Coast. Yeah. That's kind of what I expected out of West Coast artists after a while. Like they're gonna tell a story. They're gonna be straight to the point. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be NWA somehow remix, flip, bounced around. It's gonna be NWA though. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the vibe. And then when I heard you, I was like, he from where? Like for real?
Yeah, dog.
It's crazy.
I mean, we had so many lyricists. We had the Good Life Cafe. Niggas used to go up there in L.A., you know what I'm saying, and rock and get down, you know, freestyling, and people would come from all over just to get a chance to get on that open mic. We had Project Blowed, you know what I mean, in Leimert Park in L.A., you know what I'm saying, and once again, battles would go down on them sidewalks. Man,
who you battle?
You might not even
who you
go
battle that we didn't know.
There.
Who did you battle that we don't know about?
Man, who did I battle? I was battling everybody. It was just niggas walking up, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what was the biggest names that you might have find yourself in the studio
with?
Yeah,
I ain't really get a chance to do that. I got in a cipher. My biggest cipher as a come up when I was on my come up was with I think Corrupt and Daz and Snoop. Yeah. When they was really starting to rise to the top. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I got to jump in the cipher, but it wasn't no battle. I just was ciphering. And, you know, Snoop was like, yeah, he told my homie Big C Style, like, yeah, you want to fuck with somebody from the city, you need to fuck with Crook, you know what I mean? Right. And that's what made me and Big C Style start fucking with each other. And Big C Style is one of the founding members of the Dog Pound, and he's touched a lot of people's careers in Long Beach. Management, you know, whether it's just I'm going to drop you off at the studio, give you somewhere to stay until your shit get popping, you know, just like that, a big homie like that. You feel me? So that's what put me with him, was being in a cipher with Dog, but nah, I ain't really get a chance to really do that, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish, but it was just a bunch of niggas that probably don't even rap no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You got them out of there either way.
Hey, man. Well, I mean, Suge used to tell me, he used to tell people that if they wanted to deal with Death Row, they had to battle me and win. So, you know what I'm saying?
So did anybody get signed while you was on?
Nobody got signed, bro. And let me tell you, I told him, man, you got to stop doing that because these niggas gonna come for my head, dog. Like one dude was crying. My god brother, he reminded me on Clubhouse the other day. He was like, you remember that one dude that started crying?
No, hold on. Now, you got to start this story from the beginning. You got to start this story from the beginning.
I think we pulled up to Hot 97.
Right.
And Tretch was with us. And
Shout out to Tretch.
Tretch was holding us down.
Jersey.
You know, he was like, shh. Y'all go up there and say whatever y'all want to say. We down here right now. And you know what it is. Right. We was like, all right. So we hype. We go upstairs. We doing our little 1-2 interview and all that shit. We come back down. The motherfucking whole shit is packed outside because I guess they heard us live on the fucking air. So they like, all right, them niggas up there. Right. So, you know, it was a couple kids. And they was like, yo, Suge, you need to fuck with me. You know, and Suge was like, all right, well, shit, if you could battle Crooked and you could fucking beat Crooked, I'll give you a motherfucking deal right now. That's what I tell everybody. Right. I'm like, oh, man, here we go again.
And you just did. You're like, shit, here we go.
And you know, if you go to the radio and you're not even expecting that you need to freestyle on this shit, they just finna play your new shit and you finna bounce. You ain't got like 100 in a clip for like 5 different, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, I'm out there just going wild. And it was a couple niggas that was hard. It was this one dude out there. If you out there, bro.
You know his name?
His name was Microwave.
Microwave.
Yo, he was kind of spitting. I was like, when I got back on the plane, I was like, that Microwave kid was kind of hard.
That might have been Suge.
You know what I'm saying? But Young Surf done pulled up.
Microwave,
nigga. But he was heating it up. But yeah, it was a
Shout
good.
out to Surf, man. I just be fucking with him.
Yeah. Shout out to Surf. I was looking at his I-95 freestyle the other day.
Yeah,
that shit was
he
nice.
Blacked out on that shit.
Yeah, that shit was nice. Yeah, man. But yeah, you know.
So Microwave spit.
He did his thing, you know. But we just, man, dog. Listen, when I was super hungry, it was no chance.
It's no chance.
There's no chance, dog. Cause I, you know. You hear that saying where they say, I'm going to hit you with my ain't got shit left, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really in there like, dog, y'all don't even know, dog. Roaches in the cereal look like Raisin Bran where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we was poor.
Right.
We was below the poverty line poor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We was gutter, grimy, you know. We trying to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And I'm not letting nobody stop me from putting my mama in a better house. And I ain't letting nobody stop me from getting off this block.
So you ain't when you heard Microwave, you was like, he all right, man. Maybe I might take the L this time because I feel like, you know what I mean, he'll be a good addition to the label.
Dog, I'm not finna take no L's in front of the nigga signing my check.
So the nigga
you know
cried?
Yeah, he started crying. Well, no, not him.
Oh.
It was somebody else that my godbrother told me about. But we was doing it.
So
So
it
I
wasn't
started
Sir.
talking to
Yeah,
Corrupt. I started talking to Corrupt one day. He was like, yeah, Suge did that to me too. He said, that's why I came up with that line the night I served 2,000 MCs. It was because of that. You know what I'm saying? Suge was,
wow.
dog. But I think Suge did that to keep our swords sharp and to also make an impact on the moment. Like you see, I'm rolling with some real hyenas right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it
ain't just some.
It
ain't just we just ain't over here a big label making. Nah, I'm rolling with some hyenas that'll fuck you over with this rap shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
that's crazy.
So it was good, man. It was boot camp. Death Row was boot camp. You know what I'm saying? I came out of there, dog. Every other label was a walk in the park. Yeah. Motherfuckers be stressing what these labels be doing, dog. I be looking like this ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And they be asking why I'm so cool and calm about it. Man, why you just sitting there? This ain't shit, homie.
Right.
This ain't nothing. Nigga, I'm happy for that. I'm grateful that this the vibes we on with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I just came from?
You know I came from?
You know how many niggas' dreams I done crushed, nigga?
Man.
Damn. So homeboy that started crying, like, what happened? Like, y'all just stood there like,
well,
better luck next time, little nigga.
Yeah, he sat in the corner and he was staring at me, and then he had like tears coming out his eyes, and he was just staring at me.
While he was
like
rapping?
No. After it was over and everybody like, all right, you lost.
Yeah.
He went in the corner and he was just staring at me. It was a lot going on, and my godbrother was like, hey, look at this nigga. And he was looking at it. He was just looking at me, and he was just staring at me. He had tears in his eyes, bro. He looked like I crushed his dreams. And that's when I told Suge, I was like, dog, you can't keep putting me in that position. Because I'm not trying to be no dream killer, my nigga.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You know, it's just, it ain't cool. So, I mean, because people used to line up, man. They used to catch the bus, the Greyhound bus to Death Row, the office, dog. Anytime you walk out, it'd be 3-4 people sleeping on the sidewalk, just waiting on Suge to pull up so he could listen to their music and all that kind of shit. Like, it was real deal. It was real deal over there. People wanted in, man.
And you stopped
You know
all
what I'm
of them.
saying? Hey, I stopped a lot of those motherfuckers, dog. I did them a favor, though, because, you know, it ended up not really popping like it was supposed to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully they went somewhere else, you know what I mean?
And got an
and got
opportunity.
on. But I still got love for Death Row. I still got my Death Row chains and all that, dog. I still got love for Death Row, you know, but, you know, it's...
Death Row chain, only time I wore blood diamonds.
Oh, my G.
I said, yo, son,
Hey.
Crooked be, yo, son, he be saying some shit.
I
Like,
appreciate it. That mean a lot coming from you. See, that's the thing. Like, that's what M was talking about on my Chris Corner shit.
right.
When he's talking about your show, you know what I'm saying, and being able to hear somebody that understand this shit, the ins and outs of this shit, really
Right.
break it down and talk about it. We in a beautiful
different.
time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying? And you know, shout out Joe. I know he had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings me to the next question. Slaughterhouse.
Right.
One of y'all got to go. Who is it?
If one of us got to go,
One of y'all got to go.
might as well be Joe. He already out. Joe ain't rapping, man. I had this much hope in 2020.
Right.
You know, 2021, Joe ain't rapping, man. I don't think Joe gonna rap.
Did you
I
think
want him to though, man. I just
Yeah.
want him to. But it's all right. It's all right. We got 20 songs with that nigga on it.
Now, people believe like there's an issue between Joe and M. What's the real deal? Like, what's the real situation?
I think that's something that could definitely be worked out. I don't think that's crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that could definitely be worked out. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they similar. If you look at Joe Budden's fan base, it's similar to Eminem's fan base.
Yeah, you think about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they talking about overcoming depression, addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Women
Shit
they
like
dealt
that.
with.
Women they dealt with. They're
Oh,
very
wow.
similar.
Wow. You think about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They very similar, dog.
Yeah.
So I could see them really being able to work that out. I want them to, dog. Like, man, see, I'm a peacemaker, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's a nigga over here from this hood and he going at it with this nigga from this hood and they about to come to pistols or shootouts or fighting and it's going to get crazy because they
Right.
homies going to jump in. If I know both of them niggas and I know somebody they respect
Right.
or if they respect me enough to sit down and talk, you know what I mean? We
Yeah,
going to talk
you
about it.
squash that
We
shit
gonna-
out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We going to squash that shit out because...
I thought for sure Joe was going to jump back out when I heard M kind of like send a shot.
Yeah. Nah. I don't think he want his first rodeo to be with Marshall though. You know what I'm saying? my first
Low key, we've been waiting.
my first rodeo. You gonna give me Marshall?
Sometimes you gotta,
Hey, go-
and then
let's
hug
go.
it out later. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? So you never
Hey.
know. You know.
But you know what? It's probably nobody that's gonna really, you know, it's only very few people who gonna bring it out of him like
Right.
M could.
That's what I'm
M
saying.
could bring it out.
Right.
You know, he gonna come in the ring and fight in shape for M. You know what I'm saying?
I was waiting for it.
But I really just want them to be able to sit down because M is the most down to earth superstar I ever met in my life, dog. He the most humble, down to earth, cool superstar, megastar that I ever met in my
and you'd
life.
be like, yo, I've heard stories. Marv One, he came on the show and he was like, there was this dude that wanted to battle and he was like, yeah, ain't nobody battling, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody told M that it was a dude that wanted. He was like, yo, y'all let him leave.
He said, "Yo,
And Marv was like, yo, you done sold like 100 million albums. You still concerned about battling something? He was like, yo,
let's
that's
get
dope.
it." He said he a warrior, huh?
That's dope.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's the reason why I kind of want to see him and Joe, you know what I'm saying, be able to sit down and you know, you ain't got to be friends,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, but establish a point, you know what I'm saying, of a peace treaty or some shit, you know, because they both cool guys,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and we need more of them than, you know what I'm saying, in this industry. We don't really got a lot of cool, down-to-earth motherfuckers in this game.
Right.
So we need to stick together. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So, yeah, but who knows? M might be in the studio right now about to give this nigga a missile. You know?
Sincerely, Marshall. On the side of a rocket. Like, okay, I send that shit out. Oh, man. But I prefer, like, a match between M and Joe. I know what I'm getting out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not, oh, there's going to be pistols blazing
Yeah,
and,
yeah, all that
you know,
type of shit.
crews going. I prefer that rather than, you know, this other shit that we got with the drill movement.
Right.
Where it just sounds like cries of war and everybody's living out the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what how do you feel about, you know, being from Long Beach, Like people banging on records.
I mean, it's the culture. It's you know, if you live a certain lifestyle, that's what you're going to project on the mic. That's how you're going to create your art. It's going to be based on your lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
I want to say Free Casanova.
yeah, no doubt.
But you see the game that's being played now.
Yeah, I see it.
They're looking for any type of association.
Yeah.
You throw up your hood in
Yeah.
a video, and you just happen to be around somebody who put in some work, and they find out. They rallying, and they grabbing everybody up.
That's what they doing. I mean, and we making ourselves easy targets. You know what I'm saying? You got to move smarter now.
Right.
You got to understand where it's at and be like, okay, you know, crime has always, and I ain't saying nobody's committing crimes. I'm just saying crime, the crime element, the hood, the streets, things that go on has always evolved with time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And got smarter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, for the young guys, I get tired of looking at young dudes on a video and saying to myself, I hope he lives. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of looking at videos of young dudes and
feel the same way.
And be like, damn, I hope nobody don't kill this young dude. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going on. And then when I look at the older guys who they're not giving out the jewelry they should be. You know what I'm saying? To the kids. Like, we need to figure out how we could stop that. But me and you both know that's almost like a runaway train.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna stop somebody?
Because again, we get
They
back
run
to this,
deep.
This marketing. The marketing of it is
Right.
It's the
It's
hype.
crazy. Yeah. I know some rappers who really, you know what I'm saying, wasn't really affiliated and active like that, but they used it as marketing.
Right.
Because somebody said, if you just come out as yourself without a gang movement behind you,
You ain't gonna move.
you're not gonna move no records. So now they got to use that element to sell records, but also that element creates other energies.
Right.
There's people from your hood that's like, that's not you.
Right.
And when we see you, we going to let you know that's
No,
not
that's
you.
not you.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's people around the world that want to test you now because of the energy you giving off. So
Right.
it's really tough, man. You know, everybody just wants to be successful, and these motherfucking labels, they don't care. They're going to let you go ahead and act a fucking fool out there because like we just talked about, when somebody pop you, more record sales. They don't care.
Figure it out. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Wake up, man. We need to stop all that, man.
You in the game, but you're not moving the pieces. You being moved, man. Wake up.
Wake up.
So, all right. Being from Long Beach, how do you feel about seeing Bloods and Crips all over the United States now?
I saw it early. You know what I'm saying? I moved out of the city. My mom wanted to go back to Oklahoma where she from, you know what I'm saying? She moved to Cali to get a record deal. She got a record deal. Some shit happened. She met my father in Long Beach. He was in the Navy. He was stationed in the Navy in Long Beach.
Right.
She had me. We stayed in Cali for a while, you know, doing our thing in the city, all that type of shit. And then one summer, she just decided she wanted to go back to Oklahoma. So we went back, and I watched the development of gangbanging in Oklahoma. I watched it. You know, I was like, okay, a dude moved in from L.A., a dude moved into town from L.A., a dude moved in from Compton. They started two separate hoods. There was already a hood there, you know what I'm saying, that was moving around, but they wasn't really Crips or Bloods.
Right.
And then the Crippin' and Blooding took place, and it started to blossom. And I just watched it all develop from one person to 100 motherfuckers claiming and repping, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, this shit is crazy, because it was a culture shock when I first came out here because wasn't really nobody tripping. I could come outside, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything cool. Nigga, ride my bike with a Dodger hat on to the back, blue.
Right.
Ain't nobody finna say shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You
But
good.
now
this
it's like
vacation time right
yeah,
here.
now it's starting to develop into something different. And then I moved to Vegas because my mom was moving around. Every time my older brother got into some shit or I got into some shit, my mom would try to run from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we moved to Vegas. Niggas was banging Crips and Bloods. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, this shit is everywhere. You know, so it's like.
Did you respect it?
Well, I had some cousins who were claiming a gang set out of South Central, who never been to South Central at the time.
Right.
They was putting in work and getting shot. My cousin got shot 7 times for that hood. So my perspective changed because it was like, okay, well, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Whether it is or not.
You taking bullets and giving them for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, I took my cousin came out here and shit, and we went over there to the hood that he was representing and all that shit, and they, you know, they accepted him. You know what I'm saying? They accepted him, but for me, dog, being on the outside, because, you know, my older brother, my older cousins, they all Crips. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they like, yo, tossing me a blue rag when I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? 9, 10. You feel me? But I ain't really walked that type of path, really. I just really grew up in it.
Right.
I know it. I know the ins and outs of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's what you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just chose to. I was like, dog, it's got to be something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it was like, I'm not making no money like that either.
So does it confuse you when you see people choose it? Wasn't in it.
Yeah, I always get confused. I've always been confused by the people who gain success and then become a gang member or start hanging out with gangs, and you know what I'm saying, after they just went, you know, triple platinum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or
and then all
they
of
got
a
a big record deal with $1 million advance, and all of a sudden they hanging out in Compton with some real niggas that will swallow your ass up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you doing it for the trend of it. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that was really crazy, man. But you know.
But it's worked for some people.
It's work, man. And you know what? We never talk about the guys who are out there trying to stop, you know, the gang intervention guys who did 20. You know, we don't really talk about, you know, the Crips and Bloods that's 55 years old right now, did their time, got their stripes, you know what I'm saying? But now they showing up at high schools like, yo, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Find a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to start putting them type of dudes on a platform. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the energy we need.
Right.
I don't want my son to be fearing for his life over some shit that was started a long time ago, and the shit ain't even exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying, when it was started. You know what I mean? It's transformed to some different things, and you know, it's just like, yo, let's start hearing from, like, I got a homie from the city of Long Beach. His name is Blue. Blue would be perfect to sit down here and talk to you and tell you about why the kids need to stop. You know what I'm saying? And why they need to figure out, you know, how to financially educate themselves and, you know, go get a family and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But we don't put those types of people on platforms enough. You know what I'm saying? We got to start putting them on platforms. Same goes for everybody. Yeah.
So here's my question. Do you reform kids out of gangs, or do you reform the gang?
Hey, man. I mean, how?
Because what if it was, I'm Crip, so I know I could get a job at this law firm because there's other Crips up there that's right. Yo, you know what I mean? Throwing it up like, yo, you there? Okay, nigga, you hired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if we could do that?
I think it could be done. I think it can be done. They smarter than people think, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The intelligence is way up. They feel like a lot of people in the world paint these gang members, and I could speak on this because I was raised by gang members.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My whole life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them are super smart. They could be a CEO at a company, any company. You know what I'm saying? And the world paints them as dumb killers. Oh, you killing over this, killing over that. Right. It's way deeper than that.
But they'll make John Gotti look like he was
the
mastermind.
The mastermind, yeah.
Right.
You feel me? So, you know, we got to just figure out how we need to get on code, because I'm really loving the fact that we got, you know, the internet and the social media is kind of bringing some of these guys out to the forefront, the guys with the right message.
Right.
We need to let those with the right message speak. Give them some motherfucking time on camera and on the mic, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you kind of part of that.
well, I
Like,
mean,
what's this next project that you putting out?
yeah,
What's the message? Because you done walked through this whole shit.
Right.
You seen enough you seen Death Row, Tupac, Snoop, Shady, Dr. Dre's era. Everything that was going on to now.
right.
To now. It still be around. Like this gotta be like a 2%. You know what I mean? Of people that was able to come through all these eras and they still here. They still got something to say.
Right.
People still want to hear it. People still waiting.
That's a super blessing.
Right.
That's a blessing, dog, because, you know, it's been 20 plus. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I've been in the game 20 plus. And this album is definitely going to be my journey. People going, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. You know what I'm saying? You're going to laugh with me. You're going to smile with me. You're going to hurt with me. You know what I'm saying? Throughout this process of listening to this album, because you're right, it's been a long journey and it's that time. And I wasn't even going to make an album like that, but my little brother Demetrius was like, yo, it's time for you to do this.
Tell your story.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, because to me, it's just, I'm living it. So it ain't that big to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to people on the outside, it's like, dog, do you know what the fuck you did? Or do you know what you survived? Do you know what you've been through?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know.
How many niggas you stopped from getting a deal?
You know how many niggas you motherfuckers pumped the brakes on they deal?
Crazy.
So, you know, I mean, so yeah, I'm gonna tell the story, man. You know, being a young kid, being able to walk into the session and see Tupac. You know what I mean? At a young kid, and be like, damn, that's Tupac right there, you know, and just sit down and watch Pac write and do his thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, being able to see Snoop, being able to go up to, you know, Dre, being able to survive the craziness of Death Row Records, man, at a time where a lot of people don't know this. Death Row was more lit on some street shit. It was more lit when I was on Death Row than it was in any era.
Because there was a lot of shit going on.
It was a lot of shit going on. And when Suge got out of jail, it was a lot of people trying to stop him from ever being what he was in the past.
A
You
lot of
know, big
shootings,
mogul. Yeah, a lot of shootings,
stabbings.
a lot of killings,
Yeah.
kidnapping. Bro, man, we lost so many people over there, man. And when I was over there, dog, the body count was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, it was very, very dangerous. I mean, the feds rushed the building, man. They took everything out of that motherfucker. They rushed all of the
I
houses.
saw footage of motherfuckers coming down from helicopters.
Yeah,
With
dog.
the straight leg, like, like, yo, to a record label?
To a record label, man.
This is wild.
It was lit. So my whole thing is, you know, that's something that, you know, I think that's the reason why my homies in Long Beach respect me, because they like, yo, nigga, you went over there by yourself and you made it out. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what happened, you know, you made it out. And, you know, I appreciate that respect that they show me for that. But,
Right.
you know, there's other things, though, you know, just life.
Does that
Life.
make you I mean, you came up with some of the most prevalent big homies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You the big homie now.
And then it's like I just said about Russ. It's like you gotta really recognize that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta recognize that, because I don't feel like it. I don't feel old, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like, yo, shit, I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
But you gotta realize that when you get to a certain age and you got a certain amount of wisdom that came from certain experiences, you need to give that wisdom to the next. So
Right.
they can, you know, have some shortcuts in life and don't have to go through everything that you went through. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm being intentional about that now. I'm making a point to be like, yo, calling younger artists or younger homies that's just in the streets and be like, yo, let's go get lunch and just talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll go a long way, man. It's nobody was talking to us sometimes, you know. Shit.
Right. And them motherfuckers out there wilding. Like,
Wilding, you know what I mean?
So- is that what the Circle of Bosses is about?
Circle of bosses, man. Yeah, dog. It's like like-minded individuals that just want to see each other win. There's no one leader. You know what I'm saying? We all bosses. We sit at the table. We got that mindset. We established this in 2004. We just was a clique. We decided to create a clique of like-minded individuals that want to see each other win. And, you know, we from all walks of life. There's Crips in there. There's Bloods in there. There's lawyers in there. There's people who own car dealerships in there. There's rappers in there. There's producers in there. And we just all one clique.
How do you get in?
And you know what? That's on that side. I guess we just gotta really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if we really, for 2 or 3 of us, really just fuck with you, and that's what you want. You know, it's like, all right, cool, come on, rock out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I decided to bring it forth into the rap world because I kept it behind, but I decided to bring it into the rap world. Like, yo, this is our clique. You know what I'm saying? Let's represent what we represent. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it was cool. And it's been dope, man, to see the growth of some certain people. You know, I got homies that real estate moguls. You know what I'm saying? Like straight COB tat. Everybody got the tat on the hand. You know what I mean? And real estate mogul. You know, buying property, beachfront property, houses, restaurants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
you seen them come from.
See them come from, you know, the bottom. So it's like, yo, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I mean? To be one of the founders and be like, yo, look what we did though. We still got homies we trying to bring up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still got work to do, but we gonna do it because we love each other and that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all right, so we gonna wrap this up, but before we go,
what's happening?
I need to know, man. Do super lyrical rappers have groupies too?
Well,
are they like smart bitches? Are they like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, dog, I'm gonna tell you. Yo, when you on your come up with some lyrical shit, it be hard, bro.
it be you go
out, you look in that crowd.
You see the big hoodies.
Man,
you see the big hoodies on the chat.
I'm tired of looking at Skechers. I'm like, man, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, man. But you know, yeah, dog, you do got some beautiful women that appreciate, you know what I'm saying, wordplay. You know what I mean? But yeah, dog, you know, them trap niggas winning.
Shout out to the trap niggas, man. Shout out to the trap niggas, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yo, Crooked, I want to thank you again, bro.
Man, thanks for having me, bro.
Yo, you're ready, man. You're
real
ready.
Real talk.
A lot of gems, man. We out here in LA.
Yeah.
See if we can get some more episodes popping, but this one is one of those ones.
That's what's up, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for having me, bro.